That's honestly kind of bright. I wish it wasn't quite so bright. I could dig out a light out of my bag, but I'm not going to. Oh no, the wild abra fled. So I've arrived at a location. I guess we'll go back to the personal vlog because I've got a bit of time, so we'll do a little one here. Who told the sun that it was allowed to come up later? What's up with that? Okay. Anyway, I'll try to be a little quiet here. I've come to a location that the Audubon Society suggested. What they have listed for Boulder, which is the last few places that we've been exploring so far, is a little further, a little out of the way. Took me all kinds of back roads that I didn't know at all in the dark. And I kept thinking, I'm surprised the sun isn't out yet, because it was a few weeks ago, or I guess really last month, rising at like 6:15. I got here at 6. No sun. It's just barely. You can just start to see a little bit of orange coming up over there. So we have some time. But this place, this trailhead, starts. It's not really a parking lot. It's just a corner of a road with houses all around. This is just in the back of a neighborhood. But Audubon Society listed it, so I just pulled over to the curb. I imagine that more people come along, and then there's a road that goes back that way, and there's a good stretch without any houses, so I imagine people probably park all along there. There were some people on bikes as soon as I pulled up, and I went, well, I guess I have some time, so I pulled out Pokemon. There is a stop right here. Now, which way am I facing? I'm facing this way. That's where the road goes, so it does show the trail, and the trail goes all the way up and around. I'm sure there's a trailhead sign, a marker, that we'll talk about where we go, what it is that there is to do here, how far the trail is and things. Well, I caught all the Pokemon that were around. They launched another game just this week, I think. That's Monster Hunter. Made by the same company, so same issues. But it's something else to do, I suppose. I didn't expect to be doing this, but I didn't expect to have this much time before the sun rises. I have to check a different app in order to get... I hit Do Not Display again, and it displayed again anyway. In order to get... What was I saying? Oh, the sunrise. I used to use one app that did all this stuff. It was really cool. It would have global positioning, so I could go and put a pin down and go, here's where I am. Here's where I want to, here's where I want to go. Where's the sun rising and setting and things like that, so I can kind of plan out where I should stand in order to get the best light. Well, that app's just stopped working entirely. Wouldn't function, wouldn't do anything, wouldn't load. It's depreciated and nobody's working on it anymore, so that's done. I haven't found a replacement or anything like that for it. I haven't really looked. And I just haven't... The weather apps that I use to check, like... I've got another one where I check the cloud coverage to see if it's going to be cloudy. We should have mostly clear skies all day. It's a little chilly, and I did not see the wind, but I've pulled up and there's definitely some wind, so I'm glad I brought at least a jacket. It's chilled up a bit. We're not quite to winter, but it's close. Close to winter. Fall. Winter. No, winter will be very interesting. I don't know how it kind of snowed. There's a lot of this, like, it won't be like up in the mountains, I'm sure. Up in the mountains where it started snowing. October, I think we got our first snow. I think it, like, snowed once or twice there and then melted mostly. And then by November, it was solid all the way through until, like, May. Just several feet of snow at any given point. Gather items at a gathering point. Well, I haven't found a gathering point. There's not one around me, and I don't want to get out of the car until it's time to go. This is not my focus. I guess this isn't quite the same as Pokemon, even though it is made by the same company. There's tons of stuff towards the park, which makes sense. Not so much stuff here. Okay. Well, I guess that's that. Hey, you know what's a great game? Starfield. Starfield is fantastic. Oh, man. I'm playing that so much. I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to... Everybody's playing it. Like, 2 of the podcasts that I listen to on a regular basis started one of their episodes this week just talking about Starfield, and I just skip. I don't want to hear anything about it. We have a family Discord with most of my family members and whatnot, and everything went into, we've got one chat specific for gaming, and that one got changed to say something about Starfield, and I just muted it, and I don't even look at it, because I want to experience everything firsthand myself. It's so much worse of an experience to read about it than to experience it, to go through it. I've been like that for a long time now. And I really, I'm happier with that. It's more of a hassle, it's more work, and I don't try to put that work on other people, so I try to take that on myself, so I'm not going in there and being like, nobody say anything about it to me specifically. They can talk about it, and I'll just remove myself from the conversation. And when I've experienced some stuff, then I can talk to them. And I've talked to a few people individually, and that way it's more of a, don't say anything. Hold on, I haven't done that. Wait, let's not do that. And I know that's more of a hassle for them, but that's the only way if you want to have a conversation with me about it until I've done those things. But yeah, the general premise of just Skyrim in space. I guess it's closer to like Fallout in space, but I really didn't play that much of the Fallout games. I played a good bit of Fallout 3, but never finished it. And then I always wanted to do more New Vegas, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I will one day. There's always time. There's mostly time. It is usually worth it to make the time. That's what I'll say. So yeah, really looking forward to that. That's on my mind. I've been playing it every day. During the week, it's that hour-ish that I get from the time after I clock out and work out before I have to start cooking dinner. So I played it for a bit last night, knocking out quests, doing factions, and flying around space. Just trying to earn enough money to buy more spaceships, because that's what I want right now. And I'm really trying to upgrade one of my skills so that I can find more ammo, because I seem to be hurting for ammo on everything except for the weakest pistol. I want to use pistols for the whole thing. I really enjoy that, at least on this playthrough. And maybe I will play another. Probably not right away, but I don't think I'm anywhere close to finishing it. I'm like maybe 30-something, 40 hours into it. And I'm in nowhere close to being done. I'm sure that this is going to be a 100 plus, maybe 200 plus playthrough. I mean, you talk about Bethesda games, it is. It's just straight up a Bethesda. I mean, of course it is. It's made by Bethesda. So it is that Bethesda game feel. They make the games a very particular way. They've got that feel to them, and it's great. Put a lot of effort into it. And it's really cool. I haven't really had many game-breaking glitches. I know that that's another thing that people talk about. But I haven't had anything like that. I didn't have anything like that on Skyrim. I didn't have anything like that on Oblivion. I really don't, I didn't play them right when they came out either. I couldn't afford Skyrim when it first came out. I believe it was a Christmas present. And I don't remember when it released, but later that, it was a Christmas present from some of the siblings. And that's how I got to play Skyrim. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed Oblivion. Oh, boy, did I enjoy Oblivion. And there's something, I'm keeping an eye out. I'm listening to things for a remake of Oblivion is supposedly or a remaster. I don't know. But I'm up for it. Because I do want to play through that again. That was fantastic. That was probably the first game that I ever 100%. I did everything you could in that game. And that was a lot. It took me a really long time to do that. And I'm glad that I did that in a way that I can still see that progress. It was on the Xbox 360, and it still shows. I wish I could see how long that took. That save file's long gone. I don't even know what Xbox it was. I don't think I have that Xbox anymore. That was back when hard drives were a big physical thing that you clipped into the top of it. And I probably was like a 20 gig hard drive. And that Xbox, I don't think it ever died. I never got the red ring or anything. I never had any problems with that. Well, I remember when I got my first job, well, as an adult, at 18, I just remembered hanging out with this kid who was a couple of years older than me, I think, or around my age. I don't remember, but I just remember, like, we work at a bookstore and we're shelving books, and I just remember getting, this is like the first time I met him, and we're like talking about, video games. He's like, "Oh, you play Xbox or PlayStation?" I'm like, "I got an Xbox." He goes, "I hope you get a red ring." I'm like, "What? What kind of a thing is that to say? That's horrible." And he starts laughing. He didn't really mean it, but then I was like, "Well, I hope you get the PlayStation killing one." He goes, "Wait, they have that?" That was back in those days. There was a thing for PlayStation. It was far less common. The Xbox had way more issues with their red ring, and it was. I remember being like, that's on purpose. Somebody was trying to explain to me that it was on purpose, because why else would they have put red LEDs in there if they did not intentionally mean for it to break in that way? And I don't remember thinking anything about it at the time besides, well, that's just not how that works. But now it's like, of course, they put a color changing LED, and a red one is just programmed for when there's errors. Like, that is an error. It's how you error check things. It's how that is a function. They didn't build it in there going, ooh, malicious, we'll give them the red ring. That wasn't like that. Like, yes, that happened, and it happened to a large amount, and that's horrible, but clearly it didn't hurt Microsoft. Look at what they're doing now, and I never had any issues with that, and I never had any issues with any of my Xboxes. I don't think I got a red ring on any of mine that I can ever remember. I do remember having to open up and fix an Xbox at one point. Oh, it was dusty. I think I opened up 2 or 3 Xboxes to clean them out with dust, especially one of my sisters, who was like, "It keeps overheating." Well, for one thing, take it out of the cabinet and give it open air. It doesn't, if you tuck it away, it can't function. That's not, the older consoles may be able to do that because they don't need as much airflow and as much cooling, but these ones do. I'll tell you what, that the newest ones that we've got, Xbox Series X, big old fridge looking ones, and they actually made a fridge, built entertainment cabinets for them, and put them in there, and there's just not enough airflow. It heats up. We haven't had the overheat warning, but I can stick my hand in there and feel that it's way too hot. So bought a couple of PC fans, essentially, but they're hooked up to USB on the back, and then I just turn them on. I got an intake and an out, so it will cycle the air. Even with the door open, it keeps it much cooler. Yep, that's what you gotta do. All right, it's pretty light out, so I think it's time to get going on this. Let me record a little thing for the wildlife vlog, and maybe I'll come back and do more of this personal one later, or maybe this was just a short one.